Right, mate, you ready?
Yeah, mate, we're good. Time is incredibly precious. It's so valuable. I think it's impossible really to overstate that. I think the older I get, the more acutely aware I am of that with every passing year. You know, when you're young, time just kind of seemingly stretches out into the infinite, doesn't it? You're not thinking about an end point. You're just running around, enjoying life, living in the moment. I'm only 45 now, but really sadly, I've lost friends in recent years, and I've got other friends that aren't in great health. You know, realistically, how much longer am I gonna want to and be fit enough to do this sort of fishing? You know, to deal with really big water, rough weather, big wind, big waves. You know, carting big boats and leisure batteries across the mud flats or down big rocky cliffs or whatever, or sleeping in car parks, fishing day-only lakes. You know, on the drive down, chatting away to Mike, and he dropped the kind of philosophical idea that in a good lifetime, perhaps you might only have 40 autumns to play with. You know, first 20, you're growing up, school, college, university, whatever, maybe girls, partying. The last 20 autumns of your life, maybe you're not necessarily in good enough health to do this sort of thing. So, you know, you could argue that potentially I've already used up half of my potential autumns. You know, even if I only did one more of these trips every autumn, the next 15 years, you know, at best, might only get a dozen of those in. You know, when you think about it like that, I think it really sharpens the resolve to make this kind of thing happen. I do absolutely everything I can to protect the time, to make sure I can make these big trips happen. You know, whether that means sacrificing some English fishing, it always means stacking extra work in before or after a trip, and generally stretching myself a bit thin to make sure it happens. Whether you like it or not, there's no guarantees about tomorrow, as pragmatic as that is to say. You know, I think the finite time frame, the fact that you only have got a short period of time to enjoy and experience these trips and to make something happen, it makes you work harder, and I think it definitely sharpens the experience. And, you know, the best thing about them as well is that you're never far away from the carp of a lifetime either.
It's definitely the biggest carp I've ever caught, mate.
Do you think?
Yeah, look at it. It's a little bit early, mate, yeah.
It's like the interrogation.
Not had a coffee yet either. It's like it's a worm on the pavement. How's your luck? For once, it's not absolutely freezing, blowing a gale and raining.
Mate, the weather is fantastic. It
Glorious,
feels
isn't it?
feels like my holiday.
I'm too hot in a coat. It's going to be 20 degrees. It's like 20 degrees, I think, apparently, down there today.
Mate, it feels like genuinely I've come on holiday, which compared to the last trip we did.
We have come on holiday.
Oh, mate, it was absolutely lashing down with rain.
How long ago were you here?
2 weeks ago.
Oh, was that all?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, and it was freezing, wasn't it?
I want to forget about
Wrapped up in winter garb, weren't you? And
I just want to forget about it. It was an awful trip.
yeah.
Mate,
Hopefully
this
none
is
of that
good.
this time.
Mate,
Just
this is good.
big carp and sunshine.
Come on.
If you could find them, I bet a choddy would just sit perfectly over that weed. So dense. All the way over. Yeah, I reckon.
Oh, steady, mate.
Yeah, I think we should just go and drive the stretch. See
Bit
what
of
we
a
can find.
drive-by.
Put some bait in. Probably not going to fish. Just be something for the way home, I reckon.
Yeah.
Carp spotting, mate.
How do you trust my driving
By the
of
route.
cruising down the canal with you on the top?
Hopefully all right.
Mate, it's a great edge.
Yeah.
It's like a mobile tree.
Tap clear, mate. If they're anywhere to be seen, we'll see them.
Right, sit tight a minute, mate. I will drive as carefully as I can.
Quite excited about this.
Well, that's the plan, because we can just cruise along here. Obviously with Gaz in an elevated position, this is nice and clear, so hopefully if there's anything about, we'll see him.
Honey ho. It's interesting actually seeing it like this driving along as well. Like, it's hard to put. You're just driving past like miles of canal, aren't you? Looks mega. What a way to scope a venue out. Not gonna lie, this is the first time I've dated up from the top of a van. 100%, mate. They've been fed on, I would say, by Carp. They look like classic little, like grey gravel, just dusted off. Deep there as well, isn't it?
I mean, there's definitely a silty channel in the middle, a deep silty channel. But as it rises up there, there's just banks of weed, and I don't know if that's even presentable.
Well, the first day rush was upon us, but the canal was baited, in the vague hope that it may just pay us back later in the trip, should we return. We now only had a few hours of the late autumnal sun left in the sky, so we decided to take a small detour, which meant we'd already gone rogue on our planned routes. Once again, it seems best laid plans are rarely followed on these trips.
This is a complete wild card, because we had no intention only yesterday stopping here, did we?
No, none at all.
It wasn't even part of the grand master plan, but this place is en route. We thought, why not? And the sun is setting, and if we're going to see them, we're going to see them within the next hour or two into darkness. We can cook some dinner. I'm going to get eaten by mosquitoes because they're already landing on me.
It's been
now.
a long day, hasn't it? I think we
Yeah.
both probably felt like we could just do with stretching our legs actually, and
Yeah.
and also had we driven on south, we would have only arrived in the dark anyway. So we kind of felt like we had nothing to lose, did we?
Yeah, we just got to be careful though, mate, haven't we, that we don't spread ourselves too thinly, do all the looking in the world, think you're going to find the Holy Grail, keep going on and going on and going on and do no fishing. I've been there before.
Yeah, that's
I've been there before.
Quite recently.
Yeah, and you just chase your tail and you think, do you know what? There's something to be said about making a decision, hunkering down, finding a lake and giving it a few days, just working your way into it, and that is something
It's just,
I'm hopeful for.
like we were chatting about on the way down, it's difficult now, isn't it? Because we've been doing this a few years, and we've both got phones full of pins and potential, haven't we? Loads of lakes, beautiful venues and places that we'd sort of love to go to, and almost like the more that you know, in a way, the harder it becomes to make the decisions.
Totally, absolutely, totally. And you, like I said, you always think the grass is always greener, and you always think the next lake you're going to turn up to, you're just going to find them lumping out, and there's going to be big carp everywhere. But
we haven't got much time this trip either. It's only a short trip over half term for me, isn't it? So we've essentially got 5 full days, basically. Which in the scheme of things out here isn't
that will
really
disappear.
a lot, is it?
That will disappear so fast.
Yeah.
And you think it takes a day to get your rods sorted or spots prepped, or at least spots dialed in on lakes, and then it's a day to pack down to think about coming back. It just goes, mate, doesn't it? It just goes. But we'll give it a best shot, won't we? We could be in worse surroundings. The sun is setting. It's beautiful. We're going to have a nice coffee in our hand in a minute, and we're just going to linger around here and see if we can hear any carp.
Cook dinner and chill.
Yeah.
See if they show. I've been here before. I've caught a few. They turned up after dark most evenings, and you knew when they were here. That was the thing. There was no mistaking it. So I think if they're here, I think we'll know that they're here.
Yeah.
There is something beautifully poetic about listening for them after dark, when you've only got half your senses.
Yeah, I'm as blind as a bat. So
What, even in the daylight?
Yeah, even in the daylight. So this whole nighttime thing allows
great
me
for
to
you.
bring in my second sense, which is my ears,
Bat ears.
which actually are all right. They're all right.
Probably been compensating for your eyesight
Yeah,
for a
cheers,
while.
mate. If you look round, I'm like Sloth from the Goonies. They slightly twitch. The ears start twitching like a bat.
Yeah, I love it. There's something that, don't get me wrong, it's great physically seeing a carp, but I think there's something a bit more mysterious somehow just about hearing one, because you can't see it. Like, your mind plays games, doesn't it? They often sound massive as well, don't they? Especially on flat, calm nights and things.
Mate, I'm camp leader. I'm going to get the food on. You can be the eyes and the ears of the
Mate,
location.
I love this. Usually being trip leader myself, this is a right treat.
I could see today in that car you were literally flummoxed because you've lost your trip leader driving role.
Yeah, it's been sat in the passenger seat, mate. It was weird. It's only the second time I've ever done it.
Right, enough of this, mate. I'm going to put this down.
Yeah, go and get the dinner on.
Spot. Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks for that. Know my role. Chinese chicken stir fry there. Not stir fry, fajitas. Some wraps. Yeah. One or two?
Yeah.
Ring for another?
On each end.
Double leafing. Here we go, mate. Look at that.
Ewok eating a lettuce, mate. That was another one.
Was it?
Yep.
I'm not hearing it because I'm focusing on
Yeah, that was another
recording
one.
you.
It was now well late into the night, but we both agreed that staying was our best option. So despite craving sleep, we simply pushed on, unloading the van, getting the camp set up, inflating the boat, and getting the rigs perfected for our first light drop.
Good morning, mate.
Morning, mate.
That was a very quiet night, a very uneventful, anticlimaxing evening.
Wasn't it? Especially after hearing those 4 or 5 early in quick succession. I was absolutely convinced, mate, that we were just going to start hearing them.
You've had experience of this.
Yeah. Well, that's just what. When they're hearing numbers, I think that is just what they do.
Yeah.
You hear a few after dark, and then through the evening, like up till midnight, you just start hearing them. But you hear numbers 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 when they're down here en masse. We literally heard, what, those 4, 5?
Yeah.
Committed, convinced we were going to hear more, and they didn't hear another single thing.
Yeah.
Hilariously. But still, mate, nice quiet night. We both needed a rest after the day's travel. We're kind of 2/3 of the way down to where we were thinking of going. Van's just behind us, isn't it? So
Yeah.
do a day, see how we feel, see
Chances
what we see.
are, mate, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I
If
think
the
these.
pike boats stay away, Gaz, I think we got a chance.
Yeah, mate. There's always a chance, and I think these sort of areas with a bit of structure, and some features in terms of the barrage and that, I just think, yeah, mate, there's always a chance.
I didn't fancy putting those baits on, mate, last night because we had a very friendly fox lurking around, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, mate. Old Mr. Fox come paid us a visit. He just popped out behind you. You hadn't clocked him straight. I was like, Mike.
I thought there was going to be a wild boar about to snuff me down, but no.
He was beautiful. Looked like a really nice clean one. Big as well. And really close. He stayed there for a few minutes, didn't he? But I think my bit of footage of him was awful, to be honest. It's definitely not kind of BBC Attenborough grade. That is for sure.
Well, as you can see, Gaz is out there. It's very misty, but we can drop rods now, so we've done 2 at the same time. Gaz has towed mine out, gently lowered it over the edge. I felt it down, it's not that far, and then Gaz is going to drop one in the conventional way, and hopefully get back with 2 rods on a bit of structure. It's the only kind of feature in this end, so yeah, bit of pot luck, but we'll give it a go. How do you feel fishing 450 acres with just a single rod?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's funny, isn't it? You know, you travel, I don't know how many miles we drove yesterday. 400, 500, 600?
Easily, mate.
Yeah, fishing a 450 acre reservoir. Only doing the days, and currently we've just got one rod out each. Yeah, I mean, I think, mate, had they been bouncing out all night, we'd have had 4 rods ready to go,
Yeah.
and they'd have all been out there. But I think just dropping rods into the abyss out there just doesn't feel like the one. And there is already, I think we were hoping, because it was a Monday today, that there wasn't going to be many predator boats out here, but there's it is 7 o'clock.
Right about that.
And there is already, maybe 20 predator boats.
Well, we actually
out
can't
there.
see because it's like danger in the mist. There's a veil of mist all around us. We can't actually see much more than 20 yards past our tips.
No.
But every now and again, when it clears, there's like ghost ships of pike anglers just
Yeah.
appearing, and we're like, oh man, shit, that's gonna.
They
Yeah,
absolutely love it out here. The trip that I did once here in November was actually just a complete write-off because of the predator boats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the end, we literally just basically had to give up because even backloaded down, the kind of style of deep water jigging that they do, they literally bounce them along the bottom for the big perch and zander and stuff, and inevitably they just pick you up.
And do you know what, mate? As harsh as it may sound, it might actually be the end of our time here after today. We'll soon know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think this is very much a wing and a prayer of a day. But we found there's an amazing bit of structure out there. Like, I know from a couple of friends' captures over the years, and also the trip that I fished here last time. French guy called Claude moved in, had a 68-pound common. I think the day or two after we left from that area. So I actually kind of strangely feel confident, even though we've only got one rod out each. We haven't really seen or heard anything over there. Like, it's just one of those areas that I think will probably always hold a couple. Nice day today, so I don't know, we'll see. But I've got a feeling we'll be packing the van by 4 or 5 o'clock.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah. But beautiful morning.
Yeah.
And strangely, very reminiscent of the last time I was here this time of year. Total white out in the mist, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's beautiful. Sit back, have another coffee, and just chill, mate. Wait for it to clear.
And assess the options, mate.
Yeah. Just the most awful carp fishing conditions known to man. It's going to look like I did that for camera, but
Yeah, both at the same time.
legit. I wonder if they are carp out there.
Well, we've just dropped some rods, and within an hour, we've seen what looks like patches of fizz. So one rod is reeled in. Gaz is stealthily paddling out there, as you can see. He motored out there for the first, 50 metres, and now he's gently paddling into the area where we've seen the frothy bubbles. So with a rod dropped out there, whoa, oh my! I've just seen a carp literally clatter out in front of the boat. Wow! That's the first carp I think we've seen this morning. That is definitely that's the area, but I think it's so far over. We wouldn't be fishing in our water, I don't think. So we've got to be careful, but that is a great sign. That's a really good sign.
As the mist lifted, sadly the lake began to look lifeless. Also, the shows we'd seen actually turned out to be catfish.
Get out of here, mate. Definitely doesn't feel like the one, does it?
No, too hot, too deep, and we haven't seen anything to make us change our mind.
Nah, it just isn't right for it. Even though we've only had the rods in 5 hours,
If that, yeah.
I think we both know that it just isn't right. Just spoke to a couple of Belgian anglers as well, interestingly, and They said they spotted a couple on the drone either today, I think, or
It was yesterday, in real shallow water.
in really a metre and a half of water, which is what, 4 foot, 5 foot. That told us absolutely everything that we already thought. So yeah, search for some shallower water and a more suitable venue, I think.
Definitely, mate. I know how hot it is because I've got a right sweat on packing this van
Mate, it's 20 degrees.
in nearly November.
Crazy. It's all wrong, mate.
Yeah, all wrong. The world's gone mad. Classic last light panic in terms of venue choice, mate.
I mean, let's face it, we gave up on the idea of getting rods out today a while ago, didn't we? That wasn't really the point of today, was it? The point of today was just really to try and find some carp, wasn't it? And choose a lake, basically, because we still really weren't even exactly sure where we were going. So yeah, we wrapped up at the first lake. Definitely didn't feel like big barrage weather did it at all. It was just flat, calm, stagnant. I was pretty sure they were going to be in much shallower water, so we just bailed, cut our losses early. Lovely night though.
What we hadn't bargained for though, mate, was the fact that it is a French public school holiday for the kids.
There's a lot of people around, isn't there?
Right, it's like summer holidays, and the weather's like it's summer. So.
Kids, see what's been really nice? Stacks of kids with fishing rods everywhere.
Yeah,
like
makes a big
young
difference.
kids. Don't see it in England, do you?
No, no. Just spending time outside.
Totally lovely. The French are great at making the most of that, aren't they, in their public spaces? Bonjour.
What did they find so funny?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sidetracked.
yeah, so we had another couple of lakes further south to look at. Got down here relatively late in the day, really. Done a lap of the first pit, which is big, best part of 90 acres, I think. Didn't see any, but it looked good. We've come to another smaller pit nearby, haven't we, and seen a few. So even though this wasn't necessarily on our plan A, it seems mad to walk away, doesn't it, I think, from having seen fish.
Totally.
This is a lot logistically simpler than the other pit.
Well, there's no boats for starters.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to go afloat at all, so you're not allowed to bait by a boat, you're not allowed to use a boat to drop, you're not allowed to use a boat to get round.
Slightly more simple English style fishing.
Yeah, it's a casting job.
We've seen 7 or 8, I think now, so but slightly split, like in 2 different areas.
Yeah.
One is a long walk from the van, one is directly in front of the van. so we're slightly torn. I think we're just going to cook some dinner, aren't we? Sit and watch, same as last night.
I think there's a female, mate.
Yeah.
Look,
But
we like a good meal.
I don't like.
We like a good pit stop, eat, dwell the night away, listening for carp.
I mean, we've only had rods out for 6 hours so far, but
Yes,
it's
abysmal.
it's fine, mate. It's all part of it, isn't it?
It's abysmal.
It's all good. No, I've got a good feeling about this. Nice to have seen a few.
Yeah.
I feel like we're on them. I didn't feel like we were really on them last night. There was clearly 1 or 2 about, but nothing like there should have been, and we didn't see anything at the big pit. So, cook some nice dinner again. Expedition leader is gonna crack the cool box open.
Expedition leader.
Get some lovely, fresh food on the go.
Yeah.
Just give it a couple of hours into dark, I reckon. See what we hear, and then make a call. Get some kit on the barrow and just get some stuff around there.
Hopefully, we'll be fishing.
If it's the other side, Get the rods out in the morning. Again, doesn't really. There's no rush or impetus this evening, is there now? Because
days only.
It's days only, so we know we're not going to get rods out till the morning anyway.
That's great, mate. That gives me plenty of time to hopefully earn my camp leader cooking badge again.
Get it on. Let's go. Sweet, not too sweet. But like a solid bit of, this decent bit of body to it. I feel like you're getting a little bit of genuine food value out of it.
Whenever I think, where's Gaz? You're usually sat somewhere just nibbling a fig roll like a big hamster.
Yeah. I am quite partial. They're a bit of a They're an oddity.
They're very odd. I haven't seen them since my nan had them in the biscuit barrel in like '96.
These are the shit ones from Tesco's.
Ah.
The really good ones are beautiful.
Well, as another night of sleeping next to a days-only lake without a rod in the water. But they continued to show real heavy water movements out into the darkness. But it was around midnight, I think, when tiredness simply took over and sleep became a priority.
Big old set of rings coming from somewhere.
Oh yeah. What did we miss?
A slosher in the mist, mate. It's deep. It's pretty deep out there, isn't it? What do you reckon that is? Tiny little lead, this. Probably. Do you reckon it's like 16 to 18 foot?
Yeah, easily, mate.
Is that on the count? Let's have another quick. So, they were here yesterday evening and they were here last night, but it strikes me as being the kind of area that they're going to... Lovely and clean and hard though. Strikes me as the kind of area that they're going to be in the evenings and during the night.
Yeah.
When we're not going to have rods out. Question is, we've only got days to play with. Where are they catchable during the time that we're here? That's
Very valid point, mate.
what look.
It's all presentable,
So
though, isn't
hard and so present. You could present anywhere out there. You could drop little traps anywhere. They showed all along here, but only after dark. They were showing over on them shallower areas when we turned up, weren't they?
it? Yeah.
In the daylight.
And I think if we were to listen to our own advice yesterday, we were trying to find some shallow marks. When we left the other place, we were like, let's find some shallow water.
We absolutely were. But I know for 100% certainty they get caught next door from the big pit in 20, 25 foots all day long, even during the middle of the summer.
I think one woke me up this morning at about 5 o'clock, really in close.
It holds that depth, mate. Look, it's still going.
Yeah.
That's just there. That's got to be 14, 16, maybe even more. Don't know.
Oh, life feels so much better with a coffee and that lovely view. We were getting some spectacular morning misty views on the lake, flat calm. If there's anything going to be lumping around or jumping around, we're going to see it, mate, aren't we?
It's beautiful. I do love autumn. I've always loved autumn, I think. It's always been my favourite season. A lot of people hate it, I think, don't they? Because it signifies the onset of winter and a few months of cold, but I just love it. I love it. And it sharpens the desire to make the most of the time that you've got left that year as well, I think. And it marks, it's a seasonal marker, isn't it? I think.
Mate, there's a smell. I like the smell. That kind
It's
of
just
rotten
lush.
leaf matter.
I love the colour and all that as well. Like, I love the colour of the fallen leaves. I love the cooler mornings.
I love that misty, warm lake where the lake is clearly warmer than the atmosphere, and it creates that beautiful dawn like we've had this morning.
Yeah. But on the carp fishing front, like I do, it's quite deep, the water in front of here. I reckon it's probably 15 to 20 foot.
Yeah.
I guess, which in relative terms, it's not all that deep. It's all, it's autumn, perfectly reasonable depth to catch carp from, isn't it? But I don't know. I just wonder whether this is just an area that they gravitate to in the evenings, and those shallower zones over there is where they're going to spend the days. I mean, especially with the weather forecast that we've got.
No harm, mate. Like we said a minute ago, maybe just scattering a little bit of bait this side, fishing over on the shallow marks for the day today. Keep an eye on this side, and if anything happens, we can just up sticks and move.
Yeah, I like the idea of that.
Yeah. Maybe half a plan, which is the first half a plan we've really had.
We've had loads of plans, we just haven't executed any
exactly
of them yet.
that. It's time to execute something.
But again, mate, just like I was saying this morning, I think one of the things that keeps this sort of fishing really interesting is the fact you are continually problem solving.
Yeah.
As soon as you've worked it out, as soon as you just have to hit repeat and put them back out and you just catch another one, for me at least anyway, it just gets a bit boring. Like, I've never set foot on this place before. You're trying to, I look at these, it's like a mini campaign, right? I'm probably never going to come back here. It's not like back home where you might have 2 years to fish a lake or something, you know, and you can slowly think about building up a picture. Like, you've got 2 days, 3 days to try and work it out, sort it out, and catch a couple, make some memories, and like I say, very possibly never come back.
Without making a hash of it and sort of messing up such a fine line of success and failure.
You don't get really second chances, I think, on these sort of trips, really, unless you're just going somewhere and spending, you know, your whole week on one venue. But I've never really done that. Yeah, it undoubtedly makes it way more difficult, but that's all. It's part of it. You know? That's the challenge. That's for me what makes it interesting and exciting. Is you continually. It just sharpens it. It sharpens all the senses, because you have to work harder. You've got a time frame. You don't know anything about the place really, other than maybe a few little snippets at best.
Got to get it right.
We'll report back on
if that
how that pans out.
This is deep water codding at its best, isn't it? Wonder if we bring them up from the depths, their eyes are going to pop.
Like a cod. Like a cod.
Up from the depth. Also, you get to the surface there from the deep blue, and they like a pufferfish. Just good.
Well, after that.
That first day, we approached with caution. We ended up fishing little traps with minimal disturbance. But for the first time in 3 days, we actually had 6 rods fishing. However, the daylight hours were fading fast.
What's going on, Mike?
Just pumping something back very slowly. It feels like just a massive ball of weed.
Literally just like we were just looking at the sunset times. Oh, yeah.
Don't really know what's going on.
Literally just looking at the sunset times, weren't we, and debating what time we need to wind in. To be fair, mate, it might be an idea for me to go and get my waders on and get out there with the net. From the look of it, it's clearly in a big ball of weed, isn't it? It's going to need some assistance, isn't it? You reckon? I'll put the camera down, mate. Well, it's that, like, either way you're going to need some help netting it, aren't you? Because it's clearly, there's a lot going on with it.
Mate, I'm lost for words.
That is incredible, mate.
I am lost, thank you, mate. I'm lost for words.
Mate, incredible. Perfect carp. Right, we thought we'd fucked it really today, didn't we?
Yeah.
We were just sitting there saying, man, they're not showing. Did we just stick around too much trying to find spots and this, that and the other? But interestingly, we found that area incredibly quickly, didn't we? 3 casts.
Yep.
Straight, done, sorted. And interestingly, that's one of the ones that's gone, hasn't it? So.
Oh my God.
It's huge.
Oh my God. Right, Shall we can this off and get sorted?
55-12.
That'll be fine. That'll be fine. That'll be absolutely
Mate.
fine. Oh,
Give me
yes.
incredible, mate.
All right.
Yeah.
Should we try? Absolutely crazy.
Love his dorsal when he pings it.
Oh, I need to give it a rest.
Just hold it there.
Oh, jeez.
That's a lovely shot.
It's just.
It's perfect.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, Mike.
Oh, I've got to have a little rest.
She's beautiful. Lovely big old carp.
First full day.
Yeah, mate. Hang on. This is quite possibly the best bit of video I've ever shot.
I'm straight in.
Yeah, gotta get her down, mate.
Oh, steady, old girl. Steady. Oh. Yeah. There we go. How wide it is, Gaz. It's just like.
Incredible, mate.
Come on, mate. Off you go.
Privileged to witness.
Off you go. Well done, mate.
Absolute weed bird, mate. Tow her out the way.
Look at the size of it.
They're quite incredible, mate.
How did I even land that, Gaz?
No, that's.
How did I even land that?
I think you're really lucky. But
Whoa. Thanks, mate. Maybe that just takes out a bit of a...
bit of redemption, mate, for a tough couple of days. Been out. I don't know. It's not like English Canadian or.
What is it?
I don't know. It's really tough.
Mate, do you know what that feels like?
Plastic.
Yeah, it feels like
Yeah.
when I used to keep the goldfish, like when I was a kid, and you buy the plastic plants from the shop.
Yeah, really tough.
Mate, that
sharp
feels like it
stuff.
could cut your leader in no time.
I mean, I don't think it would, but
Not reckon?
it makes such a shame you didn't have the GoPro on your head. The battle was epic, but
Was
it was
it?
all a bit of a drama, wasn't it? So
Too much of a drama.
probably a good thing maybe if we didn't, but I'd love to have watched that back at a later date.
Well, you can see all the rods are in and have been in since that bite, and it's absolute carnage. There's rods everywhere, all up and down Gaz's brolly, I'm afraid. It's like a rod graveyard. They're just like chucked up against it. We'll sort that mess out either tonight or in the morning, mate, shall we?
Yes, mate.
Cool.
Sorry state of affairs this, Mike.
This isn't my proudest moment, really. What is the actual schoolboy error that any carp angler could do? Don't put the shelter up when the temperature's dropping rapidly.
Mate,
Everything is soaked.
to be fair to you did just literally get a bite as the sun was going down.
Yeah.
It's soaked, isn't it?
Yeah, mate, everything. Look at my pillow. Can you see it?
You're so proud of that new pillow as well.
Look, Can I sleep in your bed?
Absolutely not, no.
Oh, mate, do I still retain the title of expedition leader here?
You lucky hat, mate.
Yeah.
You got some dinner to cook as well, mate. You're expedition leader. Yeah.
We're having a chicken roast dinner.
It's a roast chicken.
Yeah, roast chicken.
Mike, that's incredible.
Amazing. What is this all about?
Living our best lives, mate.
Is this best life?
Get it sorted out and let's get some dinner cooked.
I'm not impressed with the size of your vessel, but we can make it work. I think your vessel should be larger. Yeah.
Really little.
Cut all these open purely to cook them well. Voila.
It was soon to become a theme of the trip. A 6 a.m. alarm, fresh rigs if needed, baits tied on, a wonderful coffee, frothed to perfection, all before first light. In fact, we were clock watching that day, spurred on from the previous night's result. As you can imagine, confidence was building.
Hey mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Much needed.
Yeah.
We actually knew very little about this lake, which added to this almost electric atmosphere. But with all the rods set by 8 a.m, we watched the mist lift with a real deep sense of anticipation. And it wasn't long before one of Gaz's rods buckled in the rest.
First bite's always the hardest.
And the hard work that's been into these bites. Oh man.
Oh, that's a horrible grating. Definitely don't think it's a big one.
What makes you say that?
It's just too quick and head shaky. Come on. Yeah, you're in, aren't you? You're in. You're in. Oh!
Is he in?
He's in.
He heard you.
Yeah.
Yes, mate.
Yes, Mark.
Yes, mate. I am so pleased. We have absolutely worked our
Oh no, he's alright.
nuts off for that.
So difficult to put a weight on that.
Yeah, I've absolutely no idea. It's got to be big 40s at least, hasn't he?
Look at his tail. It's all like crinkly and a few little warts on it.
I think that's bigger than most 40s.
I'm saying over 50 pounds.
I don't know, but he's definitely deep, or she. It's definitely deep. Gosh, that's deep. Yeah, maybe just slide the nut out, mate. She's deep, isn't she?
Mate, that is one big
Mate, that's the dorsal.
bulbous walrus of a carp, isn't
In
it?
there, big old growth. I mean, yeah, classic big French carp, mate, I suppose.
There's the mouth. Just lovely.
Look.
Yeah.
He just nicked her.
I'll take it, mate, will you? I'll move the net out of the way if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. 1, 2, 3.
Cool.
I think you're going to be a bit surprised at that. It's going to be...
Yeah, no, it's not small. It's not small. What are you saying?
Just 52.6.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
C'est bon.
So just 52.6.
Yeah, amazing. We'll take that, won't we?
52.6.
Bruiser. She's not going to win any beauty comps, is she? But she's a good one.
They're just spotless.
Much smaller mouth than yours, but
Yeah.
mint still, isn't it? Look, perfect. Mate, look, just nicked her. Here. That's Carp.
a fish.
Right, come on, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Magnifique, yeah?
Magnifique,
Oui.
yes. You're going to eat it.
No.
No.
Pictures and back.
And back.
Maybe 30 years old.
30 years
30 years old, maybe. Yeah. Maybe they grow to 40.
old. May I
50.
take a photo?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you're quick. Yeah, of course. Most amazing peck on this side.
Has it?
Yeah. Completely withered and all crumpled and. It's not bad average, that is it?
A bite
55 and 52.
a bite each. We'll take that. Mate, that's insane.
Convivial daytime bite as well, rather than last light dramas. Happy, mate?
Mate, lovely.
Thank you. I'll actually sit there for a second now.
Look how wide she is. Just She's massively wide, Gaz, isn't she?
Yeah, really wide.
And why does it suddenly feel
Deep.
like we've just headed into winter in one day?
Really odd day. You know what it feels like, I think? It's like them still, strange, like, God, look at that. Look how wide it is.
It's good. Happy? That's a mothership.
She's gone. Yeah. Very nice.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bravo.
Bravo. Yes.
This was the day when it all changed. Firstly, the weather warmed up, and despite Gaz getting a bite at 27 foot,
How big his dorsal is? Genuinely never seen a dorsal on a carp that big.
we knew we had to find some shallower ground in what was clearly a very deep pit. Now, it took us far longer than we wanted to find it, but as always, persistence paid off in the end.
Oh God. Shallow and hard. Mike.
Yeah?
Now, casting with our heavy braid and leaders wasn't an option. I mean, we tried a few long chucks on the first day, and as expected, they ended badly. The weed was still severe, so dropping down to thinner braid was out of the question also. I guess when you come prepared for boat work, we just needed a plan B. So I quickly rushed back to the van to get HMS Holly.
But the van is like probably a mile away from where we're fishing once you do a return trip, and you can't get any access to the area via boat or anything like that because boats are not allowed, so it's a big old walk.
Above all, this would just enable us to fish safely with the right tackle on our newly found shallow spots.
C'est le papy que vous
20 kilos.
Vous avez la police qui rentre ici.
What a lovely spot to have found. They were showing consistently on that tree after dark last night. See a load. I kept saying to you, didn't I? I was like, it's that tree again.
Yeah.
It's that tree again.
So isolated, aren't they?
Yeah, they were. They're really kind of quite focused over there, but it's long and it's right. And yeah, we didn't let around that far yesterday because of sort of what else we'd seen. But yeah, a couple of prospective casts. It's walloped down, beautiful glassy glide. So I just got a clip in quick, and we are going to load it up with a bit of bait quick. Last light, rod's going to come in maybe half an hour. Hopefully this might keep a few there till the morning.
Yeah.
Ready?
Maybe I'll read it.
Where we go?
$42.
42, that too. Lovely.
Great carp, mate. Absolutely bloody fantastic, mate.
With another take right at the death, we felt our plans and decisions had actually started to pay us back. As usual, it was a bit manic at last light, but with the rods reeled in, we managed to rustle up some dinner, but made sure the rods were wrapped up and ready for drops as soon as dawn broke. I remember my 5:30 alarm feeling a struggle that day, but everything was sorted by 8 AM, as per the day-only rules. We didn't even have time to get the kettle back on. In fact, little did we know what was about to unfold that day.
We were pretty confident that
I already had a little liner, hadn't I?
Yeah.
I was like, mate, that's going to go. And it's gone. Oh, there's a lot of weed out there, though. Heavy? What sort of?
It's almost like you're dragging in another rig.
I mean, through that, I dread to even think if that's even possible.
The spot's small, so we've put 2 on the spot, which is not ideal, but
As soon as I put that lead on that spot last night, I was like that. And you said the same as well, didn't you? Just from watching my tip.
yeah.
You're like, mate, that's the one. It was so glassy.
Perseverance with the leading rod, mate. In the end, I know we both didn't want to do it, but it's like we egged each other on to carry on because there was just too many shows there.
Long way over as well. I was reluctant to, because it's a small pit. And this is like, don't forget, these are 13-foot wraps. So it's further than the usual. So it's like, it's at least 2/3 of the way across the lake.
Yeah.
Which on a little tap clear pit, weedy, bad line lay, do you know what I mean? It just didn't feel like the one. I didn't really want to fish that far across. It's not actually that big. No, it isn't. It isn't. It's just, I think it's just really powerful.
Gaz, I don't know about that.
I don't think it's that big, Mike.
This reverse psychology business needs to stop.
There goes my leader knot again. Come on.
Gaz, I can't say.
Oh my god. I told you the lead hadn't moved. Mike, this is huge. Hang on.
Now we got problems, Gaz. Now we got problems. Look at the size of that weed bed that's just come up behind the spot. Mate, as long as you've got some movement in it, you kind of feel okay.
At last, the weeds off, Gaz.
No?
No, I don't think so. What is it? Is it the top load or the bottom load? I'm trying. Oh God. Good God.
No, mate, this has
does
never
not
happened to me before. I've done a lot of these trips now, and it doesn't happen. Look how wide it is. Yeah, I think it might even be bigger.
Never.
It's deep, mate. It's deep. It's definitely the biggest carp I've ever caught, mate.
Do you think?
Yeah, look at it. Look, mate, but look, not only is it massive, mate, look at this flank.
Hang on. Good God.
Look at that.
Oh my God. Look at the scales. It's the mouth. It's the mouth that's blowing my mind.
Perfect. It's massive and perfect.
Difficult to comprehend the size of its head compared to your like knee. I mean, we did think it was a catfish. 61.2.
Oh, mate.
61 pound 2 ounces.
That's my first like genuine big un out here. Proper big un.
Mate. Yes.
What a lovely carp as well. What
Yeah.
a truly lovely carp. Right, let's get back in the water for a minute. I need to take stock. My head's absolutely fallen off. And yeah, we can then. Jesus, 61. How's my hair?
I mean, your hair is on point.
I feel like a bedraggled Ewok.
Mate, you wake up like that every day. Yeah. Ready for
Like
this?
a bedraggled Ewok?
No, are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready for this?
No, I'm not sure I am, mate.
I'm in frame. You got to go and lift
It's £8 bigger than anything I've ever caught before. So.
it. Yeah. And that's £8 on those little wrists. Come on, let's do it. Looking forward to this. Looking forward to seeing the shrine.
Right. Bit of water,
Yeah,
stills
we're all
camera's
set.
good to go,
We're all
B-roll's
good.
good to go.
Everything is set. Everything is ready for you.
Cool. Hurting my shoulder.
Cool.
Bit of boilie.
It's like mashed up cremino.
Cremino and tiger.
Put that back out, mate.
Ready?
Yeah, mate.
What a creature. Massive moon, like single moon scale, back above the little cluster. Oh, you lovely creature. Lovely creature. It's a big one. Yo. What an incredible creature. Wow. Mate, I don't like having carp out. I like to get the shots done and just see them go. And you can take it in, can't you? What a morning. Still got to shoot your giant yet, mate. Come on.
So clean.
Look how clean it is. But she's literally perfect, isn't she?
Yep. Just huge, huge mouth. Cool. Right, should we wear?
412? Yeah, 54.12, mate.
54.12. Just a funny shaped carp. You couldn't tell how big it was.
She's a mad thing. Amazing though.
Oh, what a morning. What a morning.
Wait, I'll tell you when. Head down a whisker. Try that. Great character though, and ironically, it's the one that you said that you wanted to catch.
Yeah, I'd only ever seen one picture, maybe two, of a fish from here, and this was the one. Oh man.
Whoa, let's get you back, buddy. Time to get you back. Oh. Wow, wow, wow. Cool. Go on, go.
Shark. Absolute shark. If that swam past you in shallow water, you'd be scared of it. It's that big.
It was only 10 AM, but we quickly descended from euphoric highs
You can't catch these carp at home. They're just different. They're just built different. They're just genetically a different creature.
to utter frustration. See, the weed we'd uprooted on the takes made line layout to the spots impossible. Well, that was until the wind blew it in. Plus, to add to the problem, we had some technical issues to deal with and another long walk back to the bloody van.
I picked up 2 fresh boat batteries, got back, and they just don't work. The boat's just died, so I generally don't know whether we can hit those spots and fish them by casting, probably at a push, but it'd mean we'd have to spawn bait out, and we haven't come prepared for any of that sort of English style fishing. This is why this is the bait boat sort of saved us somewhat, because you can be stealth, you can get bait out, you can fish obviously beyond your casting range with big heavy braid. We're fishing 40-pound braid and 40-pound leaders, so because of the terrain and the weed, I just don't know where we're going to go right now. I'm sat here charging from an inverter off a Fox power pack, which I hope will work. Just have to wait and see. We may be doomed.
First cast.
Hell of a drop.
First cast.
Big old pump with that braid though, mate.
You've done it.
Should not be having to hit that hard. Literally plopped in. The drop's great as well. Funny enough, the drop on the left-hand rod that I cast, 100% hit that gravel whisper, and it's not been hitting that with the boat, interestingly. So there's obviously a slight difference in the dynamic for the cast.
Well, it's good news that we can reach it with the cast. I was concerned that was going to be a no, mate.
I mean, at least you've got sort of slightly more casting orientated braid on. This is a struggle. It's not small, but it's not massive.
I've heard this before.
Yeah, I didn't think that one this morning was big.
I've heard this line before.
I honestly didn't. Even when I'd seen it, I didn't. Yes. Lovely colour, isn't she?
Yeah, mate. It's just not a scale out of place, Gaz, either.
Little autumn chestnut. No, pristine, mate. Lovely little carp. Beautiful colour, isn't she?
We actually had no time to sit and reflect on what had just happened that morning. In fact, the rest of the day quickly descended into total chaos. As quick as we got fresh rigs onto the spots, takes soon followed.
Bang, bang. Mate, that was a hell of a drop. It's a sign of a good morning, but I'm literally done. I'm done. Everything's hurting.
Food and drink, mate.
Everything is hurting. Pleasure and pain.
Not quite as small as I thought he was.
I'll have the rod, shall I?
Colours on him.
Lovely.
He's mid-30 all day long.
Yeah, absolutely.
If not slightly bigger.
It's like a marlin.
Powerful. These little feathery ends on it. Never noticed that before. Let's have a little look at you, mate. Whoa. Sense of scale's been a bit warped today. I thought he was genuinely really quite small when I was playing him. Lovely 36 pounder. Nice. Happy?
Gaz behind me is trying to get a rod out. I am desperately trying to put a new hook on and a hook bait. As it did last night, just crazy flurry. We just haven't had a chance for a breather. It just feels like it's endurance carp fishing, so make the most of those tiny little spells of feeding.
Mate,
How you feeling under that?
mate, I'm absolutely done. I'm absolutely done. We've only fished for about, I reckon we've fished for about 24 hours so far.
In the last how many days?
4? I don't even know. I'm not sure. I'm so tired today.
Oh, mate, I don't know what to say. Let's you lie there, recoup. I'll make you a coffee. I mean, you've been
No, I'm gonna make a coffee, mate.
mate, you've been frothing my coffee for days. Let me repay the favour. Rarely do we see Gaz decapitated by carp.
Done, mate. Done. It's the same size as mine. Pretty much, yeah. 35 and a half, mate. Lovely carp.
Yeah, it's good. That is good. I mean, the French locals are surrounded by big carp. How many visitors have we had today that just find these magnificent? They're like, whoa!
Yeah.
It's maybe they've never seen a carp, yet they're surrounded by these incredible creatures.
Most of them haven't, despite the fact they walk around these public lakes and park lakes on a regular basis. Yes.
Let's get you back, buddy. Let's get you back.
Plan was to have a coffee about 7:30, 7:45 once the rods were in. Sweet. Still never made it to that, did we?
Nope.
I'm rushing because I'm hungry. It's the end of day. Rods are coming in. In fact, I've got another 20 minutes or so, but I'm done. I'm done.
Feels early, doesn't it, mate? It's strict here, so it's actually sunset time, which at the moment is 5:28. It's not even dark.
I am done.
Beautiful.
Once again, we were soon living a nocturnal life, as we were heading into another 12 hours of darkness. But we wrapped the rods, got some bait prepped, before eating a meal that was long overdue. In fact, we were both looking forward to an early night. Well, that was until, out of the darkness, a man appeared.
Probably the most craziest thing I've ever seen.
Incredible. So amazing. That is the beauty of public water fishing. Right there. Isn't it? Truly unexpected.
As dawn broke, it gave us time to reflect on the previous day's events. The fact that we both caught our biggest ever carp still felt surreal. But then to end the day with some form of sound meditation before he proceeded to strip off and almost baptise himself in our margin made it a day we'll never forget. But we still had 2 more days at our disposal. We simply intended to press repeat. With the rods out by 8 AM, the action kicked off quickly. But little did we know that best laid plans were about to go completely out the window.
Here we are.
Nice one, mate. Nice dark one, isn't it?
Lovely one, mate. Solid 40 pounder, isn't it?
A swap camera.
Mate, the dorsals on them. Look at that tail. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can. What a trip. We don't catch another carp, mate. It's been crazy, hasn't it?
Amazing.
Crazy.
There you go, mate.
Now we'd heard this lake was a nightmare to fish, and today we were about to get a taste of his challenging reputation. As the morning wore on, We got surrounded by local carp anglers, who actually set up less than 20 yards down the bank and quickly managed to cast over our rods. Then the swimmers arrived, along with the float tube predator anglers. The lake was clearly a hotspot for the local community. In fact, it felt like a holiday resort that would make keeping our rods in a logistical nightmare. We soon got to see why this lake was often given a wide berth. Sadly, our time was up, and it brought an abrupt end to a wonderful few days angling. But just as we packed down, Gaz had a take and was gifted the perfect leaving present.
Gone, aren't you? You're done. You're in.
Certainly not as small as you think.
It's nowhere near as small as I thought.
I'm sorry to say that your perception of size has gone to shit.
Mate, how small did that look in the water?
It did. It looked really small. So it was twisting and turning.
But how's... There's a couple have done that now.
Mate, look at that hook hold. That's exactly what you want.
Proof of the pudding.
Look at that.
Yes.
Look at that.
Big old 24.
Look at the lips on it.
Dropped, mate.
And that's where you want it hooked, isn't it?
Mate, well, so nice that that's been vilified. Mate, look how clean her mouth is again. Look. Look, mate,
Yeah,
it's just nothing. There's no hook holds whatsoever.
So that.
It's perfect.
That's far larger
Yeah, no, it is.
than we thought. Yes! Just doing a quick rig check, making sure Gaz hasn't got anything edgy on that I'm not aware of, because as camp leader I need to verify all these things. That looks pretty standard. Yeah, passes the test.
Drop.
Yeah, oh, drop it. Got him.
Head up, the fish's head.
Lovely few days, Mike. Thank you, girl. Lovely creature. And away.
Mate,
Squidded me.
rock,
He
paper,
just squidded
scissors,
me.
stone. Gotta go.
Time is nigh, Michael. Time is nigh.
We've obviously left that area and now there's a blue tent. What looks like, I don't know, is that a camping tent for the weekend? Our bank stick holes are probably still warm.
Nice, mate. Is that chicken? What's that, chicken and bacon?
You're soon going to find out, mate. It's like a Russian roulette of burgers.
I don't need king size, that's silly.
The burger was a bad idea. I actually felt awful after, but options were limited as we set off for another long drive north into a veil of cold fog. It felt like winter was certainly closing in. Now the plan was to fish the canal we baited on the first day, but by 12 PM we just needed a rest. So we ended up looking at a few canals en route as a stopgap. We lamped a few locations, but to no avail. Unfortunately, the grass had recently been cut, so it became obvious that locating them with the torch was impossible. In the end, we gave up. We once again left the rods in the van and crashed out on the towpath, knowing we'd be back on the road at first light.
Looking a bit rough this morning, Mike.
Just desperately need a shave.
We were soon back on the road, and after a stop off at the local supermarché, we eventually arrived back where we started, 6 days earlier. However, before we even got the rods in, we stopped for a light lunch. well, maybe not that light.
Is that cheese or butter?
It's butter, mate.
Butter?
It's butter.
Is that, mate, you don't have that much butter on anything.
Yeah, dude. When in Rome.
Jesus.
Yeah, mate. If it's quality butter and it's cold and it's slightly salted, you can just eat it like cheese, mate.
Do you know what I'd love to do right now?
Take my cholesterol level
Yes.
before and after.
Yes, I'd love to. How did you know I'd love a pre-cholesterol check and after this sandwich?
Just a caveat, mate, I don't eat like this every day. And that's actually possibly too much.
Well, if you want to share some of that, I've got another half a foot of French stick to put it on. I take it all back, mate. That is one of, if not the best. Oh no, just lost my cheese. Is that a raw? Stick it on the end.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, do you reckon?
I mean, there's some foliage on it.
Well, it was my best sandwich. Now it's lost a point or two, but yep, I'll give it to you, mate.
Oh, mate,
Excelled yourself in the sandwich making front now.
sod the carp. This is one of the best things about France, without a doubt. Telling you.
What's strange is we both commented how eerie the canal felt that afternoon. With the air pressure dropping, it brought a heavy tension to the valley. But as light was fading, we typically rushed to find 3 spots each.
It's only a one bite trap, isn't it? End of the day, all you need is enough to get a bite. There you go. The little downrigger clips, these for downrigger fishing off a boat, and just literally you can adjust the tension depending on what sort of braid or mono or whatever you've got, just tight enough to tighten up to from back there with the rod, but it will just pull out on the take. It just holds it. Could do with a slightly longer storm pole, in all honesty, but that should be perfect. So it's completely slack. So my rig, I don't know if you can make out, there's the top of my leader. It's completely slack down the near side edge. Keep the rest of my braid out. Forget a take, pull straight out of there. You've kept it free of any like snags or ironwork or anything in the edge as well. That couldn't be a more perfectly set trap. Right, let's get the rod back.
God, what is that? Looks like a scene out of Chainsaw Massacre.
No, it's sinister, isn't it?
Mate, it's horrific.
But it's obviously been dead a really long time, so there's clearly no large predators still kicking around. As in, it's been dead that long. The skull is completely defleshed. Yeah.
I mean, have I got this right? They're wild wolves in France, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Nice.
Good luck.
Yeah, you'll be all right, mate. Next to the van down
Good luck.
there. Yeah.
This is a disclaimer to Sarah, Gaz's other half, to say, there he is down there. If by any chance he gets eaten by a wolf tonight, I've told him it's not my issue. He signed the risk assessment. No responsibility is going to be apportioned to Baitworks. So it's up to him. He can stay there if he wants. He's in like Blair Witch Project Wood, and I'm next to the van. So.
Little last night roll of the dice.
Yeah. Well.
I'll tell you what though. I mean, given that there's a dead deer on my swim and a skull on the tree, there's a really it was Halloween yesterday as well, wasn't it? Really eerily, strangely quiet atmosphere about all this.
Yeah. Well, as soon as I turned up, we both said this feels
Deathly.
Yeah, bizarre.
Really, really quiet.
Yeah, I actually didn't see as I walked back. I did do a disclaimer to Sarah to say if I find you just a pile of rack of ribs in the morning,
You apologise.
Just apologise. You were there last night and it's nothing to do with me. We signed the Baitworks risk assessment. It's nothing to do with me. So good luck, G, in the old haunted forest.
Yeah, I had a every time I've had tea, I've got peed in an ark just beyond my brolly.
What, you think that's going to ward off the spirit?
No, it's to keep any big animals away, isn't it?
Well, if you believe that old wife tell shit.
Yeah.
As the night drew in, it was time for our last supper, and we made sure it was a banquet fit for a king. But before we could relax and eat, Gaz had to calm his nerves, having already had a rather scary encounter.
I've had some weird, ominous single bleep on my washing ironed rods, which obviously you just don't really get single bleeps, so I thought I'd better go back and check it. Flicked my light on low just to get my cup and some tea bags. This dirty, great big fox, mate, clattered out of my shelter, just like snooping around under my bed. Literally, I jumped out of my skin. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm going to sleep all that well tonight, to be to be totally honest. It's definitely a bit weirdly eerie tonight.
We enjoyed some fresh garlic crevettes, roast chicken, Caesar salad, and some chunky chips to celebrate our last night in France. We soon said our goodnights, and of course a little prayer that Gaz would last the night in Death Valley.
I sort of knew something was going to happen. Not good. This trip has been too good for it not to come good again.
I just thought it was going to happen 1-2 a.m.
No.
Well, today was home time, and packing down was easy. But just before the last few bits made it into the van, Gaz had a violent take on his margin rod, which saw him sprint off down the towpath to do battle. Now sadly the camera had a meltdown, so I didn't actually manage to capture the best bits. But we did have a lovely canal carp as the perfect parting gift.
How about that, mate? Lovely little last morning common. A little send off, eh? What an absolutely lovely, lovely trip. Really strange air of expectancy last night. In all honesty, I had a feeling that we were possibly going to catch a monster last night. Bizarrely quiet. A few strange little serendipitous bits of things had happened. The spots looked amazing. And yeah, woke up this morning, thought the chance had gone. Quick coffee, and this has just absolutely melted off. And from the look of it as well, all the spots had been done. The spot that I caught this off was literally no bigger than a dinner plate. It was the size of a mat and a half, maybe 2 mats. When I had a look at it, the other spot has been done. Actually looks like the rig's been moved. And Mike, your spots look like they've been done as well, don't they?
I don't want to admit it, I've been turned over.
Mate, I think all 4 of the rods were fed on last night. But yeah, as ever, the best way to head home is always with wet knees, isn't it, mate? So we're at, mate. Back to the motherland.
On the way back, it suddenly dawned on us that we'd been in France for 166 hours. But in fact, we'd only had the rods in for 42. This really felt like a trip of a lifetime. Yes, we'd used up one of our autumnal life credits, but what a way to spend it.
Far and away the biggest carp I've ever caught. We've still got a few more autumns to go yet, haven't we, mate? Hopefully.
Oh, mate. Maybe we just knock one off the list, but yeah.